Greetings in the precious divine name of the Most High, His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Selassie the First, Jah Rastafari. You're in tune to Ras-Berry Radio 101.1, the best. Here on the Thoughts from Andrew Show is the Temple of Enlightenment. I'm your host, your enlightenment, your inspiration, your morning coffee, your morning tea, your morning everything. Jah Rastafari. Boy, don't push your luck. Boy, don't push your luck. Bad mind, you know fi chuck. Boy, don't push your luck. Me a praise Rastafari. Bad mind, you know fi chuck. Boy, bad mind still can't sight the sign. Rastafari, love is where we find. What? All the love, all the grace, all the joy. Boy, stop. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about no Rastafari. Talk about my way of life, my spiritual way of life, my spiritual awakening, and why I have to live Rastafari and all of this and the different aspects to Rastafari and the different mansions of Rastafari. See? So, first of all, Rastafari is not a religion. That's the first clarification. Some people come, I've seen many documentaries, I've seen many interviews where people love to talk about Rasta as a religion. Rasta is not no religion. Rasta is a way of life, a spiritual, natural levity. And people have different ways of how they, that's the beauty of Rastafari. There's no really rules. You can grow into your existence as a Rastafari however you chose to. Copy everybody, develops and comes to their understanding of Rastafari in their own time, at their own pace, and in their own understanding. Though there's certain basic things about Rastafari, like Rastafari does not eat pork. So as a Rasta man now, me being a Rasta man now, I don't eat pork, right? Now some people don't eat pork because in the Bible it says, Jah cast the spirit, the evil spirits into pig, and they say you are what you eat. So if you consume pig, then you become you get that boorish spirit. So that's the reason why some Rasta man or some people don't eat pork, right? But some Rasta don't eat pork because they cite pork as unclean, and it's just simple as that. Right? Because if you look at it, pork is the only meat that it doesn't cook. No matter how you cook it, it never really cooks. And pig, they eat anything. If you put a dead animal in front of a pig, it will eat it. Pig, they consume anything. You know what I'm saying? So some people they refrain from eating pork because of those reasons. But that's no Rastaman eats pork. That's just one of the basic tenets. But it's not a rule. You know what I'm saying? And Rastafari, they believe. Are not believe, because the next thing is that Rastafari don't believe. Rastafari know, because a belief is a form of doubt. You have to know what you know. Knowing what you know means that you're sure, right? So Rastafari knows that herb, the real herb, not the green crack, because nowadays they have green crack, which that is what you have to not consume, which is basically like powder crack, but it's just green. You know what I'm saying? But the real herb, right, which the Bible says, grass for the use of cattle and herb for the use of mankind, right? Rastafari knows that the use of herb is a beneficial thing because it's used for sacrificial reasons, right? It's used to bring us closer to Jah. It's not just to get high and to feed, not just to get high and laugh and have munchies and those kind of things. No, Rastafari is herb is for the spiritual benefit and for the healing power. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're going through any form of stress, it relieves your brain and gives you time to think how you can free yourself from whatever you find yourself in. And it really does bring you closer to Jah. You know what I'm saying? And so Rastafari now sees herb as a spiritual thing. And also Rastafari is a natural way of life. So the way how you eat, you know what I mean, the type of things, the type of food that you eat, what you put, Rastafari is very health conscious and very conscious about what you're putting in your body. You know what I mean? How we know what you put in your body is what will come out. What you put in must come out. What goes up must come down. What goes around must come around. So these are the little simple aspects of Rastafari. And in terms of the locks, when you grow your hair, it's not just to grow your hair and to look wild. You see the early Rastafari, the early Rastaman, he used to just grow his locks and just let it hang down and just walk through Babylon. But you see Rastafari evolve now to realize that you see, your locks is a sacred thing. Your locks is a vow. When you grow your hair, once it starts to knit, once it starts to lock, that means that you take that vow. You know what I mean? That is a vow that you take. That is a Nazarene vow, the vow of the Nazarene, meaning that you take a vow to deal with Jah. You know what I'm saying? And you take that separation unto God, unto Jah. Because Rastafari don't even say God, you know. Because God is a Roman term. Jah is a higher divinity. Jah is the creator. Jah is the creator, a creative force, a creative energy within I and I, right? And so when you grow your locks, now that you take that vow to live that life or to be on that path and evolve within that, right? Now His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I was crowned King of Kings, Lords of Lords, conquering the Lion of the tribe of Judah, November 2nd, 1930. And this was prophesied by Marcus Garvey, who Marcus Garvey was Marcus Garvey fight for black rights, for the rights of African people or people of African descent who were domiciled in the West because of slavery. Marcus Garvey fought for their rights, but he prophesied and said, "Look to the east, for the day of deliverance is near when a black king shall be crowned." Now His Majesty fulfilled that prophecy, right? And Ras means head, and Tafari means creator. So when you praise Rastafari, that means you're praising. When you praise Rastafari, that means you're praising the head creator. So that means that your head is where your brain is, and your brain is what directs your body. So Rastafari is the creator. Rastafari is that creative energy within you, that spiritual energy, right? And Rastafari was called, and he didn't give himself these titles. These titles were placed upon him because he was the only one worthy to sit in that throne based upon his lineage. His lineage goes back to Ori and to King David, Queen of Sheba, King Solomon, right? So King David is the father of King Solomon. King Solomon was a Israelite king, right? And King Solomon was the wisest king in the world, who had 800 wives and 300 concubines. Now King Solomon went to Ethiopia and met the Queen of Sheba, and they fell in love and had a son called Menelik, and through that lineage His Majesty trod. Right? So His Majesty is in a royal historical lineage, right? And so therefore His Majesty now is the King of Kings, Lords of Lords. That means in this earth you have kings, you have many kings, but His Majesty is the King of all kings. That means that every king have to bow to the King of all kings, right? His Majesty is the light, right? The Lords of Lords and the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. So that means now the tribe of Judah, right, which we know Jacob in the Bible had 12 sons, and actually they say it's 13, but right. But anyways, he had 12 sons, and those 12 sons, each of them became a tribe. So Judah was one of the sons of Jacob. So His Majesty, and each tribe falls under a month. Like the tribe of Joseph. If you're born in February, you're from the tribe of Joseph. You're born in July, the tribe of Judah. So His Majesty, was born was born on the 23rd of July. Right? His Majesty was born on the 23rd of July. That means he's the tribe of Judah. So the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. Right? So that means when you're a Rasta, you're a lion heart. So you have to move like a lion. You have to live like how a lion would live. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you go and hunt things like that, like in that aspect. What I mean, like your locks become your mane, so you represent that. You know what I'm saying? And your locks now is not just to grow and just because you see the world is full of pollution. So that's why in this time now as Rastafari, during this trad, we cover our locks. You know what I'm saying? As it grows to protect it from the pollution. So those are some of the basic things about Rastafari. And then within Rastafari now you have different mansions or different what do you call it now? Different sects of sects of Rastafari. Different houses of Rastafari. So you have the Bobo Ashanti, right? Which the Bobo is a more stricter aspect of Rastafari, but it's still, there's no division in Rastafari because it's not like Christianity where you have denominations. You know what I'm saying? It's just little differences. Like the Bobo Ashanti, they always keep their hair wrapped in a turban, right? They always keep it wrapped in a turban, and they're more militant set. And then you have the Naya Bingi right? The Naya Bingi which the Naya Bingi is a form of drumming from Africa, which is that's the source of the reggae rhythm, which the reggae rhythm now turned into the dancehall and the hip hop, because hip hop people don't even know, and rap people don't even know that Cool Herc was from Jamaica, which is the beginning of that music that you hear Drake and them rap, and that music that same 1-2 drumming starts from the Naya Bingi. So when you sing these type of music, you're actually going back is right back to the roots in Africa, right? So the Naya Bingi is another sect of Rastafari, right? And then you have the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Which is the 12 tribes of Israel is more close to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, right? Which they see they don't say His Majesty they say His Majesty is the Spirit of Christ is in His Majesty, right? So there's just different little differences, but basically that's what Rastafari is, and Rastafari is the best way of life. It's the best way of most relaxing way that you can really live, because Rastafari doesn't judge anyone, and there's no preaching in Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? There's no preaching. It's not like say you have to get up and you go to the building which the Christians call a church, or which other people call their temple, or Rastafari say your body is your temple. You know what I'm saying? That means you preserve your body, because we know that Jah lives within people, right? So that means you preserve your body and your health, and you put good things in your brain and think good thoughts. You know what I mean? And and Rastafari is protection, spiritual protection. That's where the protection comes from. So when we live Rastafari, protected from evil spirits. You know what I'm saying? Because evil spirits are always going to try to come at the good spirits. But we don't fear in those situations, because we know we are protected, and Jah free us from those things. So give all praises unto Jah. That means everything I do. So I'm doing a show, I give all my duties to praise Jah first. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to go on the stage and not declare the judgment of the conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. You have to praise Jah first. You know what I'm saying? Being a true Rastafari, you have to praise Jah first and put Jah first. Because the Bible says, seek Jah first and all things shall be added. Right? That means that when you seek Jah, all the blessings that you're supposed to receive shall be added. Because I want to tell you that the biggest blessing is the blessing of enlightenment. When you're enlightened on things in your life, that's the biggest blessing. So when you know Jah, you get the blessing of enlightenment. You see what I'm saying? And so the Bible says wisdom is better than silver and gold. That means it's better to be wise than to seek silver and gold. Right? So Jah, when you seek Jah, you remain inspired, you remain in tune, and you remain protected. So this is why I live Rastafari, because you can't live without faith in this life, And there's many faiths. Because Majesty say we should live side and side with each other, because we're all we're kinsmen, which means kin means family, meaning we're all family of different faith. Meaning we all cite Jah, but in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So His Majesty said the most powerful words, until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently abandoned, everywhere is war. That means if there's unequalness in the world, there will have to be war. It's not His Majesty not coming and saying, he's gonna launch war or nothing. But if you look at it, it really makes sense. Because if one set of people is here and one is here, these people aren't foolish. They might be poor, but they're not foolish. They know what's going on around them. And eventually, it's like an ant. Look how small an ant is. But look how powerful this thing is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can attack the nest, but one is going to sting you. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, that's what these are just the little simple things. And His Majesty said education is important. His Majesty built the first university in Ethiopia. That means His Majesty believes that knowledge is powerful. So is a whole heap of things now to make us know that Rastafari is the way of life that we have to live, and we have to defend that way of life, right? And break all ignorance, right? Because it said the conquering Lion shall break all chains, right? And give us some victory again and again. So that means that when you live Rastafari, you actually liberate your mind, because Rastafari also make you seek your history before the transatlantic slave trade. Rastafari make you seek your history before that, right? That means you stretch back to Ethiopia now, because we know that Africa was all Ethiopia before colonization. Because some people might say, oh, that is from that time and time, that is the past. The past still affects now. There's no way you can say, oh, the past is the past, because the past affects now. Because if you look back in your own life and look back at things that happen in your life, it's things that you did that create now. So then is important, because in Africa, them still call it Africa, which it was called Ethiopia. Them still call it Zimbabwe, which was called Ethiopia. So the leftover impact of colonialization still impacts the world. You see what I'm trying to say? So therefore, Rastafari make you know your history that, and know that that's where civilization began. Ethiopia is the oldest known civilization on earth, and that's facts. Ethiopia is the oldest known civilization, and the first set of Israelites are actually Ethiopian. You know what I'm saying? That Egypt used to be a part of Ethiopia, right? Because the river Nile stretched from Ethiopia down into Egypt, right? So these are the little things now that Rastafari makes us become aware of and become aware of ourselves. And Rastafari make you be respectful too, because any youth or any person that live Rastafari, a true Rastafari, must have respect. Must have respect for those who come before you, knowing that they have wisdom and knowledge to depart, and respect I said, the infants shall be cared for, the elderly protected, and the naked clothed, and the homeless sheltered, and the hungry fed. So you see, these positive aspects of Rastafari know what make you a complete person and a better person, right? So this is why I have to live Rastafari, you know what I'm saying? And keep whatever faith you are, keep your faith. Because like I said, faith are like are like the saying goes, faith can move mountains. So what's the use now you live in this life and you don't, people about they're atheists and they don't believe in anything. I'm not here to judge anybody, but I couldn't. That's their life. That's their life. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't live. I couldn't be that. You know what I'm saying? Because where's your protection? Where's your protection? You have to be close to Jah. You know what I'm saying? So that because there are evil spirits and evil entities in this world, and you need some sort of protection. And the closer you are to Jah, is the more protection you have from all of that. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we live Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what anybody says or anybody thinks or anything. I was born Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? And I've been living Rastafari ever since, and will continue to live Rastafari forever. Cause that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I found myself from age 13. And even before that I was like that, because I always love nature. I always love to help people. And I always have love in my heart. And I don't deal with revenge. You know what I'm saying? I'm never the type of person to deal with revenge or to avenge people. I leave it to Jah. Anything that happened to people who try to hurt me in life or try to bring me down or try to push traitorism, Jah is the one who dealt with them. It wasn't me, it was Jah. It was the spiritual power of Jah. It's because I leave them unto Jah. See, and I don't judge, because the Bible says, leave all judgment unto Jah. So Jah shall sit upon his throne and judge the world, right? And place judgment upon the wicked and place judgment upon them. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I live with a clean and clear conscience. You know what I'm saying? So I praise Rastafari forever. And that's all. I praise Rastafari always. I praise Rastafari, protect me through my phase. I praise Rastafari, no boy can't stop. I praise Rastafari, them nah go flop. I praise Rastafari, must reach the top. I praise Rastafari, no care who want bend. Rastafari, teach me to help and lend. Rastafari, say be real, don't pretend. Rastafari, say good word you fi send. Rastafari, find unique blend. Rastafari, no follow no farmer trend. Rastafari, be unique, you help the people. Rastafari say respect everything and go and pray. Rastafari say keep focused, don't go astray. Rastafari is the King of Kings. Rastafari is the Lords of Lords. Rastafari no fancy the bling. Rastafari righteous tune. Rastafari sing. So go and praise Jah. Go and live up. Rastafari. Ras-Berry Radio 101.1. The best thoughts from Andrew is the Temple of Enlightenment. and this is the show. And I'm your enlightener, I'm your entertainer, I'm your inspiration, I'm everything that you need. Your morning coffee. Rastafari lives lightning.